How's it going, guys? Welcome back to West of Loathing. I'm kind of trying to figure out what I should be taking care of next. Ghostwood, I still kind of have that hanging open. I haven't been in Fort Treason yet, so I might check that out. Then I think I will have visited everywhere except for the necromancer's place. You hear a gunshot and bullet pings off a rock near your feet. You turn around to look for the culprit and see a skeleton a few yards away, a skeleton with a buffalo skull instead of a regular skull. I think I've fought one of these things once before. I'll hornswoggle it. I'm not sure if I've done that before. Judging from the apparent ages of your bones, I'd say it's pretty likely that the guy your skeleton is from is related to, or at least an associate of, the person who killed the buffalo your skull is from. In fact, it's possible that it could have been the same person. How do you feel about that? The skeleton stares at you for a few more seconds, then looks at his hand, then attempts to bite the hand off. You stroll away as he attempts to wrestle himself to the ground. Sweet. Way to just ruin that guy's entire being. I hesitated to say guy because I realize it is a skeleton monster hybrid. So I'm not sure if his feelings should be my top priority or anything, but I feel a little bit bad for kind of shattering his entire being. You spot a small makeshift signpost stuck into the ground a few yards away from the road and stop to check it out. It says free meat, and indeed there's a small pile of meat lying in front of it. You're so distracted from rolling your eyes at the obvious trap, you almost miss the goblin sneaking up behind you. You almost fell for the trap because it was so obvious. He's wearing an old buffalo skull as a helmet. What's with all these people with buffalo skulls around here? But you have to admit, looks really metal. I gotta hand it to you, you nearly got me. Good job. Oh, look at that. It's just like a tiny buffalo skull. Ah, foolish human is falling into my clever trap. Now you are giving me valuables, or I beating you up. You know, this may be the first time I've been mugged by a goblin. Usually you guys are more or less peaceable. Peaceable? I am smart like human. Why making things myself when robbing easier? Smart like human is a very accurate description of that idea. Yeah. Giving me your stuff, or hitting you. Calming down, we coming to some kind of agreement, agreeing with either taking stuff or hitting. Offer to teach them. After some back and forth, the goblin agrees to leave you unhit if you teach it how to set up a better ambush. You correct the spelling on his sign to free ambush, and tell him that the best way to sneak attack someone is by shouting while walking towards them very slowly. I feel like I keep encountering these bumbling goblins and then just turning them around in these little 180s where they're like really almost so close to pulling off whatever kind of half-dastardly plan they've strung together, and then I turn them around and make them do something like that guy who was swearing and I taught him to say really nice things to people, and there's one or two other ones where I feel like I've spun them around now too. There's a deep, gravely exhalation of breath behind you. You realize it's a hell cow. Big one, too. Just not a calf. I thought for a second that meant it would mean it was more than just the regular variety of hell cow, and I was a little bit worried about that, to be honest. I guess I'll head up to Fort Treason. Haven't really been there yet. Not really sure what is offered up around here. I don't even remember. I might have just found this one randomly. I can't remember if a quest sent me here or what was the deal with that. Real quiet. Guess all the soldiers cleared out for some reason. That cannon still looks in decent shape. Wonder why they didn't take it with them. They must have been in too much a hurry to lug it with them. So why the rush then? It's a demi-culverin cannon. I don't know much about cannons. Hopefully someone does. You look at the cannon. It's a fine cannon. Demi-culverin in size. Insert your cannonball. Oh, I forgot I had a cannonball. You look through the rangefinder in the cannon, but you can't see any indication of anything you want to shoot at. You decide not to waste the ball. Seems rational. I don't know. I think it sounded pretty damn fun to just fire off a random cannon. Oh, I can't do anything with that broken tree. And I still have those goggles. Binoculars is the word I wanted, but yeah, I've pretty much found everything at this point, so sure is empty. Don't seem particularly damaged, like if there was an attack or such. Guess it's a mystery. Well, you go enjoy it. I'm gonna take a load off for a bit. You take a load off often, except for in particular battles. Otherwise, you just kind of hang around. This must have been where they stored all of the fire. They put a bit too much fire in there, though. There is a capacity, and I guess people just ignored the warning signs. Looks like they left in the middle of dinner. Pick over the leftovers. I have seen all of that before. Nothing new there. I don't want to pick a lock right away in case I find one of these has a lock or a key in it, because that's happened to me before. The lock on this footlocker has rusted away to almost nothing. Kick it open. Hard tack and smelling salts. Smelling salts are pretty useful. Rusted away. Private Lemmon's diary. That's something new. This is an immaculately cared for standard army issue diary labeled Private Lemmon. It's private in 2 ways. It's Private Lemmon's private diary. That almost went completely and totally over my head. And Private Matthau's diary. A battered and dog-eared army issue diary. The cover says Private Matthau. Is it Matthau or just Matthau? I don't know. Barely legible and a collage of gray stains. It's a key to a post office box in Dirtwater. Well, I know where I'm headed next then. And the artillery targeting flare. This flare produces a huge plume of smoke, and where there's smoke, that's where you should fire. But where would I attempt to fire the cannon? At the ranch? It's the nearest by thing. I'm not sure what else I would try to fire off at. Anyone around here got any ideas on that? I think I'm just gonna do a quick jog down to Dirtwater, check on that P.O. box while I have it in mind. Might as well investigate that, and then I'll read those diaries here. I'm sorry, Cactus Bill. I honestly I've been looking, haven't found anything for you. Nothing here that I want to buy at the moment. Thought it might be worth checking if he had maybe restocked or not. Open 114. You open the box. It's empty except for a single sheet of cardstock with columns of numbers on it in tiny print. Fort Treason Ballistics chart. This is a chart for army guys that explains how to more effectively destroy things from a distance. Ooh, I could learn how to use a cannon maybe? That's my best bet at least. This chart is full of details on the precision firing of the demi-culverin artillery cannon. You know what? I bet the cannon could blow the vault door at Alexandria Ranch open if you could figure out a way to target it. Good idea. And I got the targeting flare. There was a vault? I don't remember there being a vault there. I gotta go back there and take another look at that. Read Private Matthau's diary. Most of Private Matthau's diary is empty pages, ink splots, and latrine duty blah blah blah. Near the end, though, you start to see notes about the fort's commanding officer, Captain Simon, going off the deep end. As Matthau puts it, being stuck out here in the middle of nowhere doing nothing is driving the captain friggin' bug nuts. When the captain eventually decided that a nearby ranch occupied by a solitary woman and her book collection was actually an enemy spy outpost, Matthau felt compelled to warn the woman but was too worried about getting court-martialed to give her any specific details of the looming threat. So what good were you then? Yeah, I do remember that ranch, Alexandria Ranch, was filled with cannonballs and blasted to bits and stuff by something other than cows. These bunch of jerks did it. In an attempt to prevent an imminent cannon bombardment of the ranch, Matthau stole some ballistic charts and hid them in a post office box during a shore leave in Dirtwater. This place doesn't have any damn shore, he comments. What the hell? Shore leave? I honestly don't know the origin of shore leave. Would have to look up the etymology of it, I suppose. Something to do with just heading home, back across the pond, maybe. Unfortunately, the cannons had already been calibrated, and when Matthau returned to camp, he discovered the shelling had already begun. In his last entry, he declares his intention to start a mutiny, but the diary ends there with no conclusion to the story. No! Cliffhanger! And what about Private Lemmon, though? His diary is pretty dry and not very interesting, just a list of the day-to-day duties of a straight-laced soldier up in the hills without anything to fight. Towards the end, though, it starts to mention their commanding officer, Captain Simon, becoming increasingly agitated and convinced that a nearby ranch was being used as a spy outpost. He doesn't sound convinced, but one annoyingly vague entry puts it, orders are orders. The last few entries have to do with the dissents in the ranks and the possibility of a mutiny, the thought of which Lemmon abhors. The rest of the pages are blank. Pretty much the same thing. Generally less to learn from that one, though. I should check up on my band, maybe. Oh, I picked up more laudanum at some point, so I might as well pour that down Ellsbury's throat while I'm here. We can't have you sobering up, Ellsbury. That's just not the way of things. Oh my god, he's like, he was just caved over on the floor there for a second. Can I actually feed him too much of this stuff? Oh, he was just picking up something. This shit, did I get so much of this stuff? I just gave him like 6 or 7 more again. What's going on in the stage? Oh, I'm clearly missing 1 or 2 more. Not quite there. Things are coming along though, sounds pretty good. Do I get to contribute though? Is this like my role in the band, or is that just to start the show? I think it's probably more to start the show. Someone mentioned that I should run back to the Lazy A Dude Ranch, because there's a baker? Oh, here we go. Do you know somewhere that's hiring a baker? Heck, even unpaid would be better if it comes to room and board. I did talk to you once before, and now I do happen to know one. I didn't before, but I do now. Really? That's wonderful. Oh, jeez, I can't go like this, though. I'm filthy. Nobody would ever let me step foot into their kitchen looking like this. Do you have a bar of soap I could mooch off? Sure, no problem. Oh, thank you so much. You give her a bar of soap and directions to the Bakery Boys Bakery, and she sets off to find somewhere to take a bath before her job interview. Oh, I feel nice about helping out. I'm sure I'll be able to reap the rewards of that somewhere down the line. Oh wait, now I gotta go back to Alexandria Ranch so I can set off that flare so I can shoot more cannons at it. I think that's what I'm working towards here. They haven't been cannonballed quite enough. They could really use just the tiniest bit more. Right, I forgot about this random goofy thing in the middle of it. That's gonna take some really accurate cannoning. But I guess we got a lot of faith in ourselves. We only have 1 cannonball. We're just going to go ahead and rock that on the first try. Insert the cannonball. You peer through the rangefinder at the distant smoke of your targeting flare. You consult the ballistics chart and turn the little knobs and cranks and stuff to the appropriate places. You root around in your pack and find a match. Light that up. It required quite a few steps to do that. Boom! If that didn't open the vault door, then those grapes are probably sour anyways. Oh, we're even shaking the screen there with such an impactful thud. Well, is it going to go downstairs into some creepy basement, or is it... yeah, I wasn't sure if it would just be, like, immediate treasures, you know, just a bunch of meat or something. Books and books and books and books. Percussive maintenance. This book is full of tips and tricks about the ancient art of fixing machines by hitting them really hard. Gives me a new skill. Modern snake oiler. Perfect, that one just gives me experience at this point. You choose the book with the most sensational sounding title, How to Cheat at Poker. Cheating is part of the game of poker, but getting caught doing so is still disadvantageous. This book purports to turn your cheating into sneaky cheating. Gives you dirty poker skill. Well, there's a lot down here. Whoa, there's quite a bit here. The greatest love poem ever written, Rich Vein, Poor Vein, and Gold Medal Silversmithing. That one sounds the most interesting to me. This book written by expert jeweler Dabney Bronze. The Dabney Bronze writing about gold silversmithing. Details advanced techniques in melting silver things and turning them into other silver things. Maybe I would get more out of my silversmithing with that then. Rich Vein, Poor Vein. This is a copy of a popular financial advice book from a few years ago. It's rare now because of various crusades to destroy every copy of it. And the best love poem ever written. The dust jacket of this book is missing, so I can't tell you who wrote it. I'm not sure what the hesitation is there. Can I read it? I can sell it too. There's probably gonna be some point where I need to recite a poem to someone, but selling it will be tempting. This love poem is so good you're afraid to even read it because you might fall in love with the book. I'll save it then. I'll save it for some other time. You quickly memorize the entire book. Probably get more out of veins now. You know how to get a lot more meat out of meat veins. That's what I thought it would give me. It's too bad because I've mined quite a few veins at this point. Unfortunately, the book was so old and crumbly that reading it once caused it to be destroyed. So much for literary preservation. Gold medal silversmithing. You read the book and learn a lot more about silversmithing than you knew before. Everybody out west can silversmith a little, but you can do it a lot. Extra silver bullets when crafting them, and then in turn I can make lockpicks even easier. After you finish reading it, you absent-mindedly drop it in a nearby mailbox, and are unable to retrieve it. Happy birthday, Mr. Postman. I just didn't mean to do it, but I did anyways. Dirty poker. You've learned how to cheat at the weird variant of poker they play in these parts. You will almost certainly get caught. So as to conceal the evidence of your dirty dealings, you eat the book. Let's hit the tables. This just gives me experience at this point. That's still great. I'm still going to take it. And percussive maintenance. You've learned how to hit machines in just the right place to fix pretty much whatever's wrong with them. You can fix things the easy way. Time to get smacking. When you're done reading it, you notice the book's spine is cracked. You try to fix it by hitting it really hard, but you end up just smashing the book to powder. Well, it solves most things, but unfortunately not quite everything. That seemed like a good plan to me. I honestly don't know what would be in need of fixing. I don't know where I could take that. Oh! Can I use that to fix El Vibrato machinery? I'd be surprised. I would honestly be very surprised by that. That doesn't seem super likely to me. Did I never read the diary of Alexandria? You flip through the diary, most of it is uneventful, describing the life of a woman who likes books and isn't interested in much else. It ends with the passage about a soldier from a nearby fort warning her about some kind of danger he wouldn't specify, so she moved her most valuable books to the cellar and took the ordinary precautions, boarding up the windows and not leaving the house at night. Turns out that isn't much good against cannonballs. Probably should have given her a more descriptive warning. Thanks for trying, though, I suppose. I can read this again? I should probably just sell it. I didn't realize I was still hanging on to that. Quest items. This is what I was actually looking for. The journal. I wanted to read up on the journal and see what's next there. West of the mountains. Ley lines. Cryptic note. Hell cow energies. You find the discipline slip. There's a patch of Mortis astrotetus near the lair. Death oysters. They only grow in a narrow band between the big canyon and the mountains. That narrows it down. Oh, shit. You've got it. You finally got enough information to pinpoint the precise location of the necromancer's lair. Huzzah! You found a note with the magic word required to enter. Abracadabra. I found that a little while ago. Not super long ago, but I do have that already. Damn, son. I have a very uncomfortable amount of time left in this planned episode here. I might have to do a quick few level ups at the Hellstrom Ranch, just to get my skills up a little bit and everything. I want to make sure that I don't get totally schooled out there. But I've been doing pretty good against the Hellstrom Ranch, so I'm not overly concerned about these battles at this point. I'm more concerned about just uncomfortable episode lengths. Let's see how I can fare against something like this currently. It appears I can fare quite well. Well, I think that's probably just about enough leveling up for now. Since I'm kind of editing past all that, doing it off camera here, I might as well do a quick round where I kind of show off how things are coming along these days. Is he going to be a mysticality or a muscle? I'll risk it. Because if these guys are spitting cow skulls, then this will save me, as long as he doesn't break it. And he did. Of course he did. Thanks for that, you big dickhead. Well, I'm not too concerned about it, because it's easy enough to just, tie everyone up, and you just kind of put off the inevitable. When they do actually get an attack off, it's not, a big concern anymore. Susie, pretty much at this point, she's just good for tying things up. She can't really do any damage herself nowadays. But hey, we can stop a lot of damage and everything. Now, I could level up Glamour, get myself a little closer to extra liver capacity. That could be useful. I'm not too worried about Dickerin. I'm especially not worried about Poker. You will almost certainly get caught. Oh, you can decrease the chances of actually getting caught. Which one of these lowers... I can raise my own stuff. This one lowers, by more than I realized, and it's not going to cost a lot to level that up. There, max that one out actually, because I was told 25 Moxie is pretty significant. If I square off against something that looks like it's just going to rock me with really strong Moxie, I'm pretty sure this doesn't use one of my turns. So that's actually pretty useful overall. I probably should have things like that in my arsenal, being able to level up my own as well. There, now I have a few skills that are significantly stronger that I think will help me out quite a lot overall. So I like having those. Let's do like at least the start of the Necromancer's Tower. Let's investigate. Kind of reminds me of like Aku, like Samurai Jack, you know? Guess this is the place, the Necromancer's place, I mean. Ready to put an end to his evil schemes? And this storyline's been built up a long time, probably longer than the El Vibrato one? I can't remember, I think I found out about it first. I'd be more excited if I thought this had anything to do with the cows, but sure, ain't like we can just leave this fella to keep doing what he's doing. That's basically the spirit, you're most of the way there. What did that say? It's all blackened and withered. Just all these cacti around here just are in bad shape. As long as your heart's like 50% in it, Susie, that's like the most I'm gonna ask from you. You're just along for the ride. I can't expect you to be pulling the team here. The skull above the door screams, "Password!" Abracadabra. There's a click inside the door as it unlocks. I wish I could do some sort of like Homer Simpson Earthworm Jim, like high-pitched squeal of a shout. Because that's how I picture him actually sounding. It's something like Earthworm Jim when he shouts password. Instead, I went more for like the catapults! The guy from Lord of the Rings, because I just love that orc. It's such a stupid one-off little thing. Whoa. Okay, there's some weird shit going on in here. Aside from all the skeleton walls, outside of that, some strange, undecipherable ruins. Would it be indecipherable or undecipherable? Oh, whoa, they're just stomping around. I thought they were going to come right at me. You're definitely not getting past these guys without a fight. Well, let's look at the blood pool first. Fountain of blood, nothing weird about it. Take a drink. The blood is delicious, like meaty Kool-Aid. Your vitality has been boosted by some blood you drank from a fountain of blood. This is probably totally safe and good. I honestly didn't expect that. That was just kind of a random gamble that I decided to go for. Well, I really should level up my my gumption and glamour to get myself more spleen and liver. Damn, they're a long ways away from being able to level up, though. Especially since it's going to take 2,000 to level up gumption, and that still won't add to it. But eventually I'll get there, I'm sure. Well, we can fight our way in. Dive on in there. Hey, shooting Annie's going to be helpful for like the first time ever. Might as well do it. Fuck. Oh no. Oh no. That was, this is not looking good. I might die here. Luckily, I think I only have one death. One, like, anger slot. Are all these guys... At least a handful of them are Moxie. Alright. Throw up a barricade and hope that they all use Moxie-based attacks. Fuck. Well, I'm certainly dead. They are infinitely stronger than I thought they were going to be. Yeah, that was a mighty quick defeat. I think that's only the second anger, though. And I can't get higher than 5. Alright, I still got some wiggle room there. Man, I am not ready for the Necromancer's Tower. Should have realized that it's kind of like late enough in the game that that's some sort of like mini boss, you know? Should have known that that would have been a tough one to take on. Well, let's go to the Silversmith, I guess. You exercise some of my newfound silversmithing skills. That's something. Ooh, I can make 2 bullets out of a wedding ring. And just 1 bullet out of the nuggets. Oh, but I get 3 out of a bullet now. I probably just have so many needles at this point. Yeah, I might as well just hang on to some of that stuff now. That's probably enough to basically get me through the game, honestly. I'm just more or less heading to a random area so I can start doing some wanders. I could really use some more scraps. If I could fight a few more El Vibrato things, that would be really great. You see a streak of fire blast across the sky, land just over the horizon. You ride to the site of the impact and find a meteor. Get after it with your pickaxe. Make short work of it. Did I break it, though? Did I break anything? No. Well, alright then. Oh, no, I did melt it. Thought that might happen, but that was a shitload of meat, if I read that correctly. Oh yeah, I went back to the Madness Mom mine, because I knew I could build other things here. I don't really know what to do with my El Vibrato scraps right now. The headwear I had, the antipsychotic headwear, I did not see before. I probably didn't even have that word before. I don't have enough. No. Alright, well, I just need to wander around a little bit until I can get a hold of enough El Vibrato to make the headband. And then from kind of a hint that I got from someone, I think I need to take it back to one of the earlier mines. One of the mines, the mine from the first area, the Lost Dutch Oven mine, where there's the crazy guy. And because I had made the headgear before based on that same hint, and apparently that was the wrong headgear. The antipsychotic one must be what I need instead. So I'm going to be working towards that, and all these wanders will help me with it. I just got the transponder. Involuntary risk-taking is rewarded with high-tech crate. I have 1 keystone. Let's see what I get out of it. Scraps. That might be enough scraps. So what I'll be doing next time then, let me double check, fingers crossed. That's enough. So next time I'll be making that headband, and I'll be going to help the crazy guy. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.